Let's start the morning off with a little bit of news from the Cryptoverse. So first news coming out of today is Spain is looking to regulate promotion and advertisement of crypto assets. Spain is saying that now you're going to have to get in touch with a regulation body as far as talking with them 10 days in advance of any paid promotion, as long as you have a subscriber count of about $100,000. So this really is a crackdown on influencers and the whole concept behind influencers kind of doing pump and dump schemes, and really the fact that quite often they might not know exactly what it is they're talking about. You can see a lot of these regulations are actually being happening around the world. And I know, for instance, that even advertising regulations as far as Google is concerned, running them on YouTube, we can't run them based on cryptocurrencies because it cites that regulations and regulatory sort of concerns are too high right now, and they haven't got a clear definition of what is allowed and not allowed, so they're just not allowing it. So Spain looks like another country looking to crack down on this sort of thing. I would imagine this being a pretty good thing. This is on the heels of something like a story like Kim Kardashian actually doing a pump and dump and being sued for it, which is something I'll cover in another episode. But basically, it's probably a good thing that we don't have people who don't know a bunch about it. I would never necessarily sell or talk about a coin that I didn't do a little bit of research in, but I would never sell it to somebody out there. And I think that the fact that influencers could do that without any sort of understanding or basics, maybe perhaps even about financing at all, should really be out there going about it. So Spain to regulate sort of those advertisements. This could be huge. It could start setting precedents across the world. Up next, we go to Indonesia, where a 22-year-old has become a millionaire overnight by selling NFTs of pictures taken of himself every day for 5 years on OpenSea. The young man didn't expect any real interest in it and set the bidding as low as $3. Little did he know that because we have such a meme market out there in the crypto world, that people bought them up like hotcakes, and the bidding started to become a bidding war, leading to some being worth more than $800. His name is Sultan Gustaf Al-Ghazali, did not expect it to go quite as well. He had over 1,000 selfie images of himself taken in front of his picture every day, basically following the trend of taking a picture of yourself every day for multiple years, probably going to stitch them together with a little viral video hope going there. Turning them into NFTs and becoming one of the first people to do shows that there's still a very crazy market when it comes to the NFT space. You really don't know what can be worth something to somebody else, especially in a meme economy. And there's no doubt that the crypto world is certainly a meme economy, with people buying things just because they're amusing, entertaining, or potentially outright just ridiculous. That's quite often what people will do when they purchase these sort of things. So here we have a young man who has done nothing but taken a few pictures of himself and has become a millionaire, which is quite a wild prospect to be said. But what I will leave it with is that the fact that this is possible in the crypto world is still a testament to why you should probably be involved in some capacity, even for fun. It's a really exciting time to be in the crypto world. Now we're going to jump on over to Russia, where a US and Russian-based task force has taken down a hacker group known as REvil in a raid that basically spanned over about 25 properties, arresting 14 people, capturing many luxury cars and cryptocurrencies as assets to be held against them. This is seen as a win for both parties. The FSB, which is sort of the CIA for the Russian government, considers it a win and wants to show authority when it comes to their sovereignty. The US also sees this as a win, believing that there are ties for REvil to have some ties to colonial pipeline tech, which happened sometime back here in the US. And as we've known, the US has been talking about Russian hackers for a while. This has been in the news during all the previous presidency. We have seen a lot of news about talking about the Russian hackers. So this is a win for authorities when it comes to showing some sort of steps in the right direction of actually taking down some of these groups. Will we see much of an impact on the hacking as a total in the crypto markets? Does that bring your fear down? Let me know in the comments. I would say that I personally don't know how I feel about this group being brought down. It's like a Hydra head. You take one down, 10 more sprout up. There is a lot of incentive in the crypto market to be a hacker because there are more and more protocols out there, and it's harder and harder to secure these as secure as they should be. So is this really going to be a large win for the average person? I'm not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because this is a big one and could really have an impact on our daily lives. Here we are right on the heels of the previous story about hackers. Here, Crypto.com has been hacked and has paused payments and withdrawals from their service citing claims that they would like to investigate further as a number of users have reported suspicious activity. They have a quote from Twitter: "We have a small number of users reporting suspicious activity on their accounts. We will be pausing withdrawals shortly as our team is investigating. All funds are safe." This is a claim that a number of users found that there was some discrepancy when it came to their funds. It seems to have been that what funds were being withdrawn up to their full amount. People were noticing this and telling Crypto.com that things seemed to be wrong. This is good that they jumped on board and stopped everything across the board so they could figure out what exactly was happening. However, this is definitely scary considering Crypto.com has a lot of publicity right now, and they've done a huge push with their marketing campaigns to promote themselves as one of the leaders in the space for retail investors. Now, if we can't see someone such as Crypto.com being a safe investment place for your money and can be easily hacked, that raises a lot of concerns about all the centrally based backed crypto sort of investment companies out there. Because as we know, DeFi is its own sort of separate thing where there's a decentralized nature to it. Obviously, DeFi standing for that. Crypto.com, Celsius, BlockFi, Nexo, a lot of these places that people are interested in earning money for their accounts, perhaps even Coinbase, Kraken, all of these are centrally based. They have central servers that can theoretically be hacked. They aren't decentralized like, say, Aave, Compound, any of these sort of decentralized actual protocols. So this does raise a few concerns when it comes to what retail investors really will be in, and will be another sort of nail in the coffin when it comes to a lot of people saying this is a very speculative asset and there's a lot of risk involved. Don't get me wrong, I believe there is still plenty of risk involved in the crypto world, but at the end of the day, it really is it is one of those things that scared money doesn't actually grow, right? The future only favors the bold, and if you're involved in this, do your diligence, make sure you're doing it very smart, do your research, be responsible about it, spread your assets around, don't necessarily throw everything into one kit and caboodle. So if this does happen, there are definitely tactics that you can do to sort of minimize the risk when this would to happen. So Crypto.com, that's a big one. That's a big one looking like they're getting hacked. That's a huge nail in the coffin for a lot of people. So I'm curious to see how this pans out and see what numbers actually come out of this. I'll report more on this as I hear about it. Walmart here trying to fly under the radar and jump into the metaverse on a subtle note when it filed a patent claim looking to sort of get into the space, the NFT space and the metaverse space. Walmart appears to be venturing into the metaverse with plans to create its own cryptocurrency and collection of NFTs. CNBC reports, Walmart appears to be venturing into the metaverse with plans to create its own cryptocurrency and collection of NFTs. The big box retailer filed several new trademarks late last month that indicate its intent to make and sell virtual goods. In a separate filing, the company said it would offer users a virtual currency as well as non-fungible tokens or NFTs. So this can be quite a big thing. This is one of the big stories of today's news coming out, that Walmart is really looking to get into the metaverse, into the NFT space, because anytime a large company with a lot of retail eyes or retail users wants to get into the crypto space, this can mean a lot for crypto investors who are already invested, because it can cause an influx and a potential rally by people looking to make money off of it. But it also can bring the actual much needed people into the space and actually bring more retail investors into the space as the speculation on it doing well. It could also just market a good little rise up for Walmart and its stock, if you're also interested in that, because crypto isn't the only asset you can purchase into. But anytime I see a giant company like this really getting on board with any sort of crypto idea or really getting their name tied to it, obviously you have to take it with a grain of salt, and we don't want to hope for the Elon effect, which essentially just causes spikes and dumps. But we do like to see a little bit of retail interest being shown by companies and more people out there, because this really could lead ultimately to more of an influx of more users into the crypto space, thus propelling it further into the future, as we already know in the cryptoverse is likely to happen. And it might bring about institutional investors a little bit sooner, which again could be really good for the overall crypto markets. So that's a wrap up of today's news. If you found any of this useful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. You know that I'll probably try and do these daily, but that might be really hard because I have a job and a life. But I do want to get these out there and try and bring up to date the sort of big things that are happening in the news that might affect you, or at least affect your portfolio, because that's the biggest thing out there to think about. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.